Hello world, welcome to Super TV, and let's take a look at the second game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Lakers had to come into this game thinking it was going to be a walk in the park because they was playing against an injured Grizzlies team. The Grizzlies was missing Ja Morant, Steven Adams, and Brandon Clark. So they thought it was going to be in the bag, the Lakers did, but little did they know they were going to take the L. The Grizzlies actually won the game 103-93. The Grizzlies had came out with high energy, but we're going to get to the Grizzlies. Let's focus on the Lakers because really this was an embarrassment because you had a healthy Lakers team fall to a dismantled, injured Grizzlies team. The Lakers started the game with very low energy. It didn't seem like they was motivated. They didn't even look like they was interested in playing basketball. They were just going through the motions and not paying attention to details. It was times while I was watching the games and I would see breaks where the Lakers was jogging back instead of sprinting, and that was giving the Grizzlies some easy layups. They was blowing defense assignments and they were just being careless with the basketball. A few of their turnovers weren't even forced turnovers. It was just them turning the ball over. The Lakers did try to make a push in the third quarter, especially after Dillon Brooks was talking spicy to LeBron James, but it was never good enough because they never grabbed the lead. But let's take a look at these Lakers numbers. So LeBron, he finished the game with 28 points. And like I said, early on, LeBron didn't look like he was interested in playing basketball. He really started to look like he was doing something when Dillon Brooks started talking spicy to him in the third quarter. But like I said, he finished with 28 points on 12 of 13 shooting from the field, but then he shot horrible from the three-point line, shooting 1 for 8. D'Angelo Russell had played terrible. And if I ain't mistaken, I know D'Angelo Russell, he played terrible in the playoffs for the Minnesota Timberwolves last season. So I kind of don't got high expectations for him, but I expected him to play better than this. So he ended up with 5 points on 2 of 11 shooting from the field. And again, he shot terrible from the three-point line. He was 1 for 5 from the three-point line. And another key stat that he had was he had 5 turnovers in the game. And like I said, a lot of his turnovers was not forced by the opponents. It was more so just him making silly mistakes. Ruham Mature, he had a solid game. He ended the game with 20 points on 7 for 12 shooting, and he shot 2 for 4 from behind the arc. He was pretty much responsible for the Lakers erasing that 20-point deficit that they had during the game. But the Laker who is really responsible for this loss and should be wearing it on their shoulders is Anthony Davis. He does not like physical basketball. Like, the more you're physical with Anthony Davis, the more you're going to see him drift from the paint to the mid-range to the three-point line. Like I said, he wasn't enthused today. Like, I don't know where their motivation was at. Anthony Davis was getting blocked in the post. He was getting guarded by guards. Stuff that should never happen. He finished the game with 13 points on 4 for 14 shooting from the field. And then he also had 1 3 that he made at the end of the game that really didn't affect the game at all. And Austin Reeves didn't have that star performance like he did last game. He ended the game with 12 points, and he had to work for all 12 of them. Wasn't nothing easy for him. And here's a quick breakdown of what went wrong with the Lakers. They had low energy on the offense and defensive end. They didn't have no intensity on both the offense and defensive end. They were shooting terrible from the three. They shot 27% from the three-point line. Anthony Davis played small. D'Angelo Russell was a non-factor on both ends of the court. He wasn't scoring, he wasn't playing defense. And Dennis Schroeder, he was there, but he wasn't there. I don't know if he was Invisible Man or not, but the guy ended with 0 points on 0 for 3 shooting. It wasn't like the Grizzlies was shooting great. They just had came with high energy. They stayed to their game plan, and they was executing. They did a great job of executing. And another thing is they put a lot of effort and hustle on the court. That was pretty much their keys to victory. Like I said, they was missing 3 valuable players on their team. They was missing Ja Morant, Steven Adams, and Brandon Clark. And then they came out there and they put up a fight. They was getting production out of Xavier Tillman. He was ready to play. Like, he was an issue to the Lakers on both sides. He finished the game with 22 points on 10 of 13 shooting from the field and 1 for 2 from the three-point line. He also had 13 rebounds, and 5 of those was offensive rebounds. And Jaren Jackson Jr., he finished the game with 18 points on 5 for 12 shooting from the field and 1 for 3 from the 3. And he also had 9 rebounds. Then you had Dylan Brooks. He played solid defense. Then you had Tyrus Jones. He didn't have a good shooting night. He did finish with 13 points, but he went 4 for 11 from the field, and he was 0 for 5 from the 3, but he impacted the game in other ways. He was actually making plays for his teammates. He had dished out 8 assists, and he also grabbed 6 rebounds. Desmond Bane, he kind of been struggling from 3, but he finished this game with 17 points because he was 6 for 18 from the field, but he was 1 for 6 from the 3. In order for them to be successful with their players that's injured, that's out right now, he's gonna have to actually play better than that, because I think they got the win off of hustle, hard, and effort today, but they're gonna have to be ready to play when they get to LA. And Luke Kennard also had a solid performance with 13 points on 4 for 7 shooting from the field, and he was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. So pretty much the keys to the Memphis Grizzlies' victory was they had brung high energy, they was locked in, they gave effort, they hustled, they played physical, and they got a solid production from their bench. In my opinion, this was an embarrassment, and it was an unacceptable loss for the Lakers. There's no way that a healthy Lakers team should be losing to the Memphis Grizzlies team. But this team is so hot and cold, and they got to be ready to bring it every game, not just one game here and one game there. So I don't know what's going to happen during the series. Like, we don't know when John Morant will be back, so I think that also be a difference maker. But, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know y'all thoughts about this game and what's going to happen going forward. Y'all prediction of what's going to happen going forward in the comments below. Until next time, let's roll.